Okay, I'm going to show you how to set up and connect a MailerLite account or a MailChimp account into Arteasly so that your contacts can sync across both platforms. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to give the example with MailerLite. We recommend them because they offer up to 500 contacts for free, and that's a good place for a lot of artists to start if they are just starting out. So we're going to come over here to contacts, and you can find the integrations over here, email integrations, or you can also find them in integrations right here, and you would go over to email and find them right there. So I'm going to do it from this location, email integrations, and then I am going to go ahead and set up a MailerLite account for our demo account. So I'm just going to sign up, and you'll go ahead and just fill out this information right here, choose your name and password. Then just go ahead and go through and answer the questions. You'll want to confirm your email address. And now you're all set up with this. Now what you're going to do is you come back here and you're going to add your integration. So I'm going to click over here and I'm going to say MailerLite, and then it's going to ask for your API keys. And so then it gives you instructions right here on how to find that. So I'm going to come over here, go to integrations over here in this corner, click right there, and then API keys. So we're going to use generate a new token, and then say Arteasly. This will keep it easy for you to understand where it came from. And then create your token. Then you're going to go ahead and copy this and then put it into your email integrations API key. You can show that and look at it and then save. So now it's in here and you can sync your contacts in there if you'd like. I do have contacts in my Arteasly account, and so I would want to sync my Arteasly to MailerLite. If you already had a MailerLite account and you wanted to sync those contacts to Arteasly, you would click on this one right here. And this would be the same process for MailChimp as well. So I have contacts in my demo account. If you don't, you can go ahead and add contacts in, and there are tutorials on that. But I'm going to go ahead and sync those across. And sometimes that takes a minute to work. Okay, I just had an alert over here that said that the sync was complete. So now if I go into my MailerLite account, get out of here, and I can go over to my subscribers, and you'll see that I have 21 contacts in here. That's how many I had in my Arteasly account. So that syncs your contacts across. And then you can also add these into groups in MailerLite or in Arteasly. So you come back over here and you can see that anything where there was a tag that synced across, and now I have my groups in MailerLite. So live events, there's one subscriber there, and I could add more into there and sync that again. And so if I said Johan's Vermeer is, I could add a tag, and that could be live event and apply. And this will sync every 5 minutes. So if you've made any changes, every 5 minutes it will do a sync and then it will go straight over to your groups. So now I'm going to go over to my groups. And let's say I have this group with 12 subscribers. This is my collector group. I am going to go ahead and create a campaign. So if I come over here, I can start my first campaign. I'm just going to do a regular campaign. And I'm going to start from scratch to show you. You can also use some of these templates, but also I want to warn you that as far as like delivering emails, if the less images you use and links in your email, the easier it's going to deliver outside of the promotions folder. And so I know that a lot of you might not want to hear that because we're artists and we love a really pretty, visually intriguing email. But as far as deliverability, the less images and the less links, the easier it's going to make it to the inbox. It can still go to the inbox in the promotions folder though, but it gets just filtered in there. So I'm going to choose from scratch and I'm going to just use this drag and drop editor. And I'm going to continue here. And this has a little template set up for you. You can kind of clean it up a little bit. Okay, and like I said, all of this is editable. So I'm going to click on this one and it'll show you some things you can edit on here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the about, the new, and the shop. I am going to replace the logo. So anywhere where there's an image, you can replace that image right here. And then you can upload a new image to put in that place. Let's find one real fast. So you can replace that with your own logo if you have one. You don't have to put that in there. And then there's this large image here too. You can delete this section if you want. Like right here is just how you would delete it. And then you could add in some more. So over here on this left-hand side, you'll notice you can do logo, navigation, hero, sections. I use the text one quite a bit just because I'm writing an email. And the more you write that like a regular email that you'd send out to your friend, the easier it's going to deliver. But I'm just going to get rid of this one. But if you were to replace the image, you could just replace image here, select a new one, upload it from your computer. I'm just going to erase this. And then I'm going to choose some content. Let's just do the text one. I'm going to drag and drop it over here. And here, this is where I'm going to start my email. I'm going to say hi. And then you have your contact information in here. So you're going to say hi and you want to say name. So just go ahead and click on this hashtag right there and you're going to click on name. And this is how you'll send out a personalized, it'll say hi and then their name. And then you say, thanks for stopping by my booth at this art fair at the Highland Art Fair. And then you can say whatever you'd like in that email. And then you can also sign off. There's a signature box you can add in here. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, special like a centered signature. There's some signatures in here. You can play around with these and then fill that in with your own information just right here. So your best regards, Megan, your email, and all of that you can replace. You can replace this image. Anytime you see that little mountain thing, you can replace that image with a photo of you if you'd like. You can do it however you want. You can delete the image as well. So you can write your email, say thank you, and then what you're going to want to do is test this email, and you're going to want to make sure all of your links are correct. So if you do have a link, you can add it in here and say, hey, stop by my website, or my event page is still up. You can check that out and then have the link. You could just type the link in here, or you can click right here for a link, insert link. You can choose a button from over here. There's a button, so you can slide that in between and then give it a link this way and insert link. Then you put in your URL, and then this opening a new tab would just leave them in the email, but it would open up a new page for them with that link. And then make sure everything's how you want it. and then you can go ahead and preview and test. So you can do preview mode. It'll just show you a quick preview, but I always like to send out a test email. You are going to want to edit the information in here. So I'm going to skip that for now, but you can always go back to it. And you're going to pick a subject for your email. And then you're going to make sure that the sender information is correct. And then you're going to put a pre-header in there. So it's like, thank you for the first line that they read when they open up the email. So you fill out this information. Then this is where you select your recipients. So come in here and I'm going to pick my collectors. And that has 12 subscribers. I'm going to select that here. All the emails in here were fake, so this won't actually send a real email, but this is how you would set it up if they were real emails. And then this is where I like to send the test out. It does get a little bit confusing in that last step. Just make sure you come back to the campaign details. So then you can send your test out. You can say what email address you want that to send to, and then you should receive that in your inbox, and you can test everything out, make sure everything looks correct before you actually send it out for real to all of your collectors. Then when you are ready to send it out, oh, and then also you can name your campaigns if you're keeping track. This is just internal for yourself. And then you can insert personalization in the subject too. You would just click on that and you can choose their name in here if you'd like, or hi, whatever company, you can choose a bunch of those. But you can put them into your subject. So I'm going to say thank you and a thanks and a special gift. And then I'm going to say continue. And then when you are ready to send that out into the world, you're just going to click on send now, or you can schedule a time for that to go out. And then you can also get a little bit more detailed as far as based on time zones and stuff like that. But you can go ahead and just send that now. Then you've sent off your first email.